That's suspicious.
Shelter in place. Missile threat warning. Depart and shelter immediately. Shelter in place. Missile threat warning. Depart and shelter.
Yeah. Yeah. Answer is yes. Yeah, shit's shaking right now. Yeah, it's going down. They going at it right now. Yeah. What the fuck happened? Just what the fuck? It's going down. If y'all don't know, shit's shaking overseas. It's going.
And so Fifth Fleet is the headquarters of the U.S. Navy in the entire region. We talk about U.S. Central Command. It's essentially the Navy's Central Command headquarters. So it's an enormous area. The ships there are no longer at port. You will frequently, if you go into Bahrain, into the Fifth Fleet area, you'll see that there are a number of U.S. Navy ships in port. They have moved them all out. It's not clear if that was in advance because of concerns about this or not. We are still trying to get any sense about any damage that was done or casualties. We don't have that yet. But the fact that Iran would retaliate against a U.S. military base in the region is not surprising. As I said, they have gone in the past. They went after Al Udeid last year after Midnight Hammer. They fired off a number of ballistic missiles. And in that case, the U.S. was aware that Iran was going to target Al Udeid with enough advance warning that they were able to take thousands of Americans off that base. They literally left about 50 people there only to operate the air defense systems that were able to shoot down most of those missiles. Again, Iran retaliated against a U.S. base in western Iraq, in Anbar province, after the U.S. killed Qasem Soleimani in Iraq several years ago. So that's not surprising, but this would mark a new and frankly, somewhat surprising escalation by going after Fifth Fleet in Bahrain. It is very close, obviously, to Iran. It's a short missile, a short-range missile that they could use to target that base, but we've not seen them retaliate against the Fifth Fleet or retaliate against the U.S. military presence in Bahrain so far to date. So again, we're still trying to figure out exactly what exactly may have been hit, or whether the air defense systems and again, some naval assets that are in the region who would be able to intercept an incoming ballistic missile, whether they were able to shoot that down. We're also now asking the question about other bases in the region. You know, it's the U.S. military has a huge presence there. It's only been increased in recent weeks as they've sent more assets into places like Jordan and Saudi Arabia to be ready for this. It's not only air assets, it's not only people. They have sent additional air defenses in to be ready for this kind of retaliation. I have to say, Jessica, I am somewhat struck by how fast Iran was able to retaliate in this case. In other cases that we've been talking about, whether it was strikes by Israel, strikes by the United States, it's generally been a matter of hours or even days before they have responded. In this case, it was literally just a couple of hours before we started seeing this wave of retaliation by Iran. It's again, it's still not clear exactly whether they have been successful in any of their attacks to date.
Yeah, Courtney, I want to revisit the
Somebody
idea
had to push the button.
there's been this attack on Fifth Fleet in Bahrain. And then when we spoke to Matt Bradley earlier, he was saying that the attacks that seem to be launched toward Israel so far seem to be feeble. They were markedly lacking the strength that most people expected. What does that tell you about the intentions of the Iranian government at this point?
I think it's too early to draw any conclusions from that, because we could see a number of different waves of retaliation here. This could have been the opening salvo, the opening volley, and I think the one thing that is totally unclear and that will drive a lot of this is what has the U.S. And what have the U.S. and Israel actually hit as part of these missions now. Have they been able to target Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps leadership? Have they been able to actually target the ballistic missile program? Have they been able to target regime leadership? Things that would have a direct impact on Iran retaliating quickly, and the scale and the scope of that retaliation. But I would not read anything into this, because it very well may be an initial salvo, especially if as it appears, the U.S. mission here is, this is not a one and done. This is a likely more sustained campaign that the U.S. is now undertaking in Iran, which stands to reason that Iran would also have a sustained response.
And then, so what do you foresee happens to these peace negotiations that were supposed to continue into next week, now that we have, it looks like all signs pointing to the potential for a regional war?
If Iran was,
a lot can happen in the next few days. So
why would they?
It's not clear that this would completely end them, but most likely those negotiations are not going to happen. Remember, they were the more technical ones anyway. This wasn't the higher level with Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff and the Iranian foreign minister. These were the more technical level ones. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if they were canceled. But again, if this is a very if there is a dramatic amount of activity over the next few days that leads to a potential talks, it's possible. The 12-day war lasted just that, 12 days. Yeah. So it's just way too early to know at this point, Jessica. I mean, at this point, we're still trying to figure out exactly what was targeted here. We know that the U.S. was focused more on military and security kinds of targets, but we don't have a really great sense yet about Israel. But again, I go back to the fact that President Trump, I mean, I was really struck by some of the things in his Truth Social video. He laid out what would require a really sustained campaign to achieve all of the goals and objectives that the president laid out in that video. If in fact the U.S. is going for that, this is not going to be a quick and decisive several days conflict here.
No, certainly. He said, lay down your arms or you will face certain death. Courtney, stand by. We will get back to you. But for now, we want to go back to NBC's international correspondent, Matt Bradley, who is still live in Tel Aviv for us at our NBC bureau, in fact. And Matt, we know you're in a safe spot. We know you have done this before. Tell us what else you have learned in the last 20 minutes or so.
If you're in the midst of conversation, why would you?
Well, it's not so much of what we've learned as what we've been hearing. Once again, we heard sirens over Tel Aviv. Now we're hearing impacts, which sound like what we heard last June when Israeli missile defenses were able to intercept some of those Iranian incoming weapons. And the Iranians have said that they are going to be dealing harshly with these attacks by the United States and Israel. They vowed they're going to be retaliating. So far, it looks like it took them about 2 hours after the initial Iranian and American attacks against Tehran and against targets throughout Iran to respond with what looked like a pretty feeble missile strike that was intercepted by Israel's formidable anti-air defenses. We don't know whether or not the U.S. Participated in swatting down of some of those Iranian munitions that were fired at Israel. But it does look as though we are now hearing more of an Iranian response so far. And again, I have to make a really strong emphasis here. We don't know what this is going to look like. It's still early hours, but we've heard very, very little in terms of an Iranian response. And this.
So if Iran is responding, that means.
All right, Matt Bradley, thank you so much for your reporting. Right now, we want to go to our correspondents for Sky News in Jerusalem to get their take on what is happening in that section of the world.
As they wait to see the extent
it sounds
of
like
Iranian response.
Adam, you must say, if you need to take cover, we really appreciate this reporting, some extraordinary scenes there. Just while you were talking, I was just looking at the latest statement from the IDF. It's lengthy, but just to pick out a few bits of it for our audience, they basically talk about the military action that they've undertaken with the US. They call it a joint, broad and powerful operation to fundamentally harm the Iranian terrorist regime. That's how they put it. They say it included an attack on dozens of military targets as part of a broad, coordinated and joint attack. They talk as well about the months leading up to the attack. They say close joint planning was carried out between the IDF and the US Army, which enabled this broad attack to be carried out, they say, with maximum synchronization and the coordination between the armies. It is lengthy. I'm just picking out individual bits. They talk about continuing to act to eliminate any emerging threat against the citizens of the State of Israel anywhere and at any time. So the IDF there putting out their statement off the back of Benjamin Netanyahu explaining his aims and the decisions behind it, but some interesting detail there on the level of coordination with the US, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is an extraordinary moment, because this is also not just a coordinated activity by Israel and the United States, but it is apparent that the two nations have come together to try to precipitate regime change in Iran. It's something that they've talked about for so long. It's been whispered as being something they want. We saw the protests, of course, recently on the streets of Iran, where thousands of people were killed, but which did not lead to the fall of the regime. And then the talks that we saw in Geneva, it seemed as if America's real interest was in thwarting Iran's nuclear ambitions. Israel, we know, was much more focused on trying to persuade the Americans to push for a reduction in Iran's ballistic missile arsenal. And yet now what we're seeing is effectively a full frontal assault on the Iranian regime. Mossad, the Israeli intelligence service, has now launched a Persian language telegram channel, which is, to all intents and purposes, calling for an uprising against the Ayatollahs. And clearly this attack, this coordinated attack, this call for the end of the regime represents for Iranians an existential threat, a truly existential threat if you are part of the regime. Now, remember, the regime is bolstered by the Republican Guard, by the network of secret police, which has held that regime in power for so long.
We've been listening to reporter for Sky News reporting live in Jerusalem right now.
Somebody
on
tell me
the
what the fuck
situation
is he
involving
talking
the coordinated U.S.-Israel attacks on Iran. We do know that Iran has retaliated. NBC's chief international correspondent Keir Sims, or rather, actually, you know what, we're going to go to Richard Engel, who is live in Tel Aviv for us. Richard, what are you seeing there on the ground?
So a short while ago, we saw an Israeli missile defense system here in action. We saw the smoke trail going up, heard an explosion in the distance. So it does seem that some rounds from Iran were heading toward this city. We did not see any impact on the ground, no indication that there were any casualties. Also reports of Israeli missile defense systems in action around Jerusalem. Also in Kuwait, another country that we haven't talked about yet.
We don't believe
many U.S. forces where U.S. forces have been for several decades now. According to the Kuwaiti state news agency, there are air raid sirens all across the country. We know already, it's been confirmed that there was this attack in Bahrain, home of the U.S. fleet. So it seems that Iran's response is not only against Israel, but it is against Israel, against the U.S. allies in the region, and against U.S. military interests across the region. And then just a short while ago, a new statement from the Israeli military, the IDF, saying that, and I'm reading the statement, the Israeli Air Force is currently conducting a broad strike on a number of military targets belonging to the Iranian regime in Western Iran. So before we had talked about attacks in about a half a dozen cities. Now the Israelis are talking about broad attacks in a new area in Western Iran as well.
Richard, give our viewers a sense of two parts here. The last time you heard one of those air raid sirens, and for you personally, and I know you've been through this kind of situation before, but when is the danger imminent enough for you that you take cover and that you become concerned about your own safety and the safety of your crew? And what happens then?
Look at the backdrop. He's not there. Where the fuck he is?
I'm always concerned about my safety and the safety of the
he is
crew.
not
It is
there.
something we consider
He is not there.
every
he is
day,
not there.
all day, and we judge the situation as it develops. There is
nothing has moved.
Hard and fast set of rules. You have to just
the whole background is he's not there.
The local guidance and see how things develop. So I wish I could tell you that there was just one circumstance, one set of rules that always applies, but this is a rapidly developing situation. We don't even know exactly how expansive this war is at the moment. There are many at this stage unconfirmed reports of explosions, air raid sirens at multiple locations in multiple countries all across the Middle East. What is clear, what we can confirm based on what President Trump has said, based on what we're seeing, based on what Iran is saying, that this is the start of a broad campaign aimed to weaken the Iranian government, the Iranian regime, to a point that the Iranian people are able, in theory at least, to take matters into their own hands, go to the streets, and topple their government. That appears to be this war's objective.
That means they were
easier said than done.
People
just
who
bombing and then hoping that the people will replace the government is an incredibly
there's no
risky
retaliation
strategy. But that seems to be the war that we are entering in right now, and a war
retaliation happened
has already spread
retaliation
to Bahrain, Kuwait, reporting air raid sirens there too. So a war that just hours after it is launched is spreading across the region.
Yes, a goal of regime change that does appear to be taking shape to become a regional war. Richard Engel, thank you. Let's go back to senior national security correspondent Courtney Kube. Courtney, you have some new reporting for us.
Yeah, we are tracking, you know, you were just talking to Richard about the these sirens and warnings now. The U.S. Embassy in Bahrain is warning of imminent drone and missile attacks. And a U.S. official is telling us now that Iran is attempting to retaliate against multiple U.S. facilities and military assets across the Middle East and throughout the region. So this is a very active and developing situation. But again, Iran is attempting to retaliate against multiple U.S. military facilities in the region right now. We're asking exactly whether any of those attacks have been successful, whether there's been any damage to infrastructure, whether any Americans have been injured or killed in this. And so far, we have no indication of any of that. But again, this is a very active situation, and this retaliation continues to be ongoing. We are also watching to see whether Iran retaliates against Israel, which is also expected in this case. But again, it's really still all developing as we speak here, Jessica.
We know that, according to Richard Engel, there were air raid sirens going off in Kuwait. We know that the U.S. Fifth Fleet has been attacked in Bahrain. We want to go back to NBC international correspondent Matt Bradley, who is still in Tel Aviv for us. Matt, what are you hearing? What are you learning from where you are in our NBC bureau right now?
Yeah, what we just heard, as you mentioned, is Richard Engel was.
Holy shit. These motherfuckers got.
That America, as he saw it, was under threat, and he was ordering this war to commence. So a war, a military operation that the Pentagon proclaimed epic fury.
Lise, in his
Iran said
announcement, President Trump
Iran
said
the
regime
other
change
day.
was very much
I'm not going
on
to
the
play
table.
around.
What does that look like in your view? You were just in Iran in the past few weeks.
In the middle
is
of
your
peace
sense
talk.
that this is going to
Mid-peace
target the
talk.
Ayatollah, the supreme leader, the IRGC? How far do you think this could go?
It doesn't make sense for Iran to attack anybody.
Yes, President Trump and U.S. Commander-in-Chief we've often reported on BBC that he has sent conflicting messages about whether this was about Iran's that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon.
Hey, is this just now happening?
It's going down right now, bro.
All
What?
of these reasons.
We was just talking. Oh my gosh!
While we were talking about it, it was shaking.
This is history tells us that there's been no
I
example.
knew something was planned. That's why I said to you that
an order being brought down.
I forgot to text you that 2 weeks ago last weekend about something is about to happen over there.
He doesn't want to put boots on the ground. He made it clear that it would be the Iranian people to do that. Remember, during the protests of last month, he called on them to
talking about the area they talked that
institutions. Well, the Iranians take to the streets
the Strait of Hormuz.
Security forces have lethal force that they're able and willing to use. The death toll is in the many thousands. It's still being counted. There are still people, there are still families who don't know the fate of their loved ones. So it is a very unpredictable and
this week, me and Red on the back
perilous time. And this time,
me and Red on the back channel was chopping it up. I said, "Dog, you feeling it?" She's like, "I'm feeling it." Like, all right, cool. What is it? I said specifically Iran.
Tried to build a coalition in the region.
My specific words to her was Iran. When you next time you run into her, ask her about this shit. Or that conversation on the back channel.
There is no.
I said Iran.
No evidence that we have.
Baron Coleman.
This preemptive attack
said Iran maybe
Iranian
2 days ago.
On Israel or on the United States.
That was my confirmation.
So a new war has been unleashed, and this morning in these early hours, no one.
Now while we chopping it up,
when and how
having witching hours, shit shake.
In his
you smell me?
President Trump urged members of Iran's military to lay down their arms, called on Iranians to topple the regime, as you mentioned. He said bombs will be dropping everywhere when we have finished taking over the government. It will be yours to take. This will probably be your only chance for generations. Was there any sense when you were there that there were perhaps any cracks, any vulnerability in the many layers of enforcement that the regime has?
Iran China and Russia always do
The
things
exiled
down
former
there
Crown Prince
together.
Reza Pahlavi had been saying for
Then
many months that they had set up a
what
secure
happened was
portal
the,
that 50,000 security
the
forces
ship,
has
when I was,
indicated that they
we had the
were
carrier
ready
groups
to defect.
headed
He never
back over there
provided
into the Mediterranean,
any evidence of
and
that.
then,
There were
and then all of
questions over
the
that,
forces
whether
and
that
stuff
was
we
really
still
the
had
case. You
around that
remember
area,
that when
I was
these
like,
protests intensified in January, when they
it was
spread
putting
across the
pressure in that
country, there were
area.
many predictions
Now, this that's
that
happening,
the Islamic Republic
I'll have
was
to
on
hear
the
more to see what,
brink
because
of
usually
collapse, but we saw
it
no
becomes
evidence
presence
that
of
there
force
were major
when
cracks
they all
in the
everybody
security
all
forces
around there
or at the top
to deal with
political
stuff or
echelons.
things
There were
happening.
no there was no
But
evidence of any defections. It was
but you know,
more that
as us, the
actually
U.S., we are
the
great at
political and security order pulled
something
together.
something
There are security
happening
forces, the
to
elite
make
Islamic
us
Revolutionary
have
Guard
to
Corps, the volunteer Basichi
force our
militia,
hand.
who are
Shake the
hardline
building, right?
and
Right.
ideological, who will fight to the end. Are there people within those forces who would be ready to lay down their arms because they know where this is heading? That is also possible too. Going to Iran this last time, Iran felt like a different country. We were really struck by how raw the anger and pain was after the losses in the security crackdown of weeks.
Well, I guess we'll get a quick break to see what oh, okay, there we go. I'm gonna say a quick break to see what Michael doing while Michael is out here so late when he usually should be home. Can you still hear me, Trent?
Yeah, I hear you now, bro. I had to do a fucking a refresh, a reload.
Gotcha. So I just was able to get service back and everything. What happened right now? What is she talking about? What's going on? What happened?
So from what I'm guessing from what I gathering, Israel attacked motherfucking Iran. Iran not playing with them, so Iran, especially when we talked about the pressure that region is pressurized right now. Iran hit Israel, and they turn around and hit the U.S. Fleet out in Bahrain, in the Bahrain Peninsula, Bahrain, whatever the fuck you want to call that thing.
Right. Okay. Wait. So they saying that
Dog, y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop with this distraction conversation, bro. Because once we have the ability to look at many different things at one time, we're never distracted. You feel me?
Thank you for saying that.
You have the smarts and the intelligence to look at things. You have the smarts. You have the intelligence to look at many different things at the same time. Stop acting like you're a fucking squirrel and something shiny gets your attention. You're not a squirrel brain human being. So what we need to do is realize that these things are still happening at the same time. And we could address each one individually, and we could possibly, when we have understanding and understanding, we could pair these things together and make them make sense. You smell me? So that I'm tired of the distraction conversation. I'm burnt out on it.
And that's the thing that we have to get over and start looking at the connection that happens. Connect the dots. Look at the whole picture.
Chain link.
Ain't that something? We was just speaking about that, and I
from what I gathered though, from what I gathered, Iran was attacked, and now this is Iran responding. But they pressurized that whole scenario with the fleets, with U.S. sending them fleets out there. They pressurized that whole scenario. But what the fuck if everybody just leaves Israel alone to fend for their fucking self?
too much. There's too much. Israel has they are they did they have done a great job to be the victor. They need to be a state. They need to. Everyone is against them as they have it, and people feel that. So that's they did a great job as the feeling that we need help. We need to
and morally and trying to have moral bankruptcy over the fucking world. Fuck you.
There you go. They're the world victims, the victims of the world.
Dog, you know the craziest part about this shit, dog? Nobody is saying that the people that suffered should have suffered. Nobody is saying nobody is saying that it's supposed to. Nobody's tweaking off of that shit. But I've never seen people take victimhood when they say blacks use the black card. Make sure that your next statement is blacks use the black card. Second to these fucking people using that fucking same card, like the blacks of Africa was not also genocide. Like there was not purposeful experiments and genocides on this fucking land already. So what the fuck make your people genocide so special? Tell me, please explain to me what makes your people's genocide so fucking special above everybody else's genocide. It's still the same thing, right?
Exactly. So it should be
monopoly, right? On morally corrupting and morally manipulating people with these fucking tactics that make them feel that makes them a special genocide. No, genocide is genocide. The end result is the fucking same, right? If the end result is genocide, then that's the end result. That's something that's extremely final. There's no genocide and bounce back.
And what we are saying, YouTube, we're saying that where's the compassion for everyone else when something had happened to you? Something horrible had happened to you. You also need to have compassion on other people because you know about
That's it.
No one is saying that you did not go through a bad time. Other people also have gone through a bad time, but you should have not just compassion, you should have the empathy, which means the understanding personally of how horrific, how degrading, how downtrodden your people would be when something like that happened to you.
Easy day. Easy day. When the Japanese went into the internment camps during the war, was it not fucked up? Can we not just look at stuff and say this shit is fucked off bad? Do we have to play the fucking oppression Olympics? Do we have to play the my people been fucked over more than you Olympics? Because this happened to me Olympics, I deserve this. My ancestors deserve. Well, if we really want to fucking start drawing straws, then they would be they would not be first in line, would they?
Not at all. But it should not be. There should not, like you were saying, the Japanese didn't turn around and start doing the same thing to other nations.
Exactly. When it was done, it was done. Yep.
Right. Blacks of America, we didn't do that. The Africans, they didn't do that. No one turned around to where it was like, this has been done to me, so now I am going to do this to them. That's the problem that the world has. How can you go through something so horrific? Now, in turn, you go and put that on someone else, but then you want people to feel bad for you, as in this happened to us, so we should be able to do this. No,
exactly. We got fucked over, so guess what? We don't have no accountability about nothing that we do. Since the fuck when? Since the fuck when? Bro, these motherfuckers so lame, dog.
And now over there, now this the pressure that Iran has been feeling has been all the way back since to where Trump is in office, and they got their was he their general? Remember the one that I forgot his name, that the bomb was dropped on him. This was in Trump's first term.
Soleimani?
I think that's his name. Yeah, the one that
Soleimani.
Yeah, the one that that happened. Then after that happened, you remember not too long ago we went out and took out what we said that was their nuclear plants. That happened what? That was last year. That happened
last year.
Yeah. Now you put pressure on their area right at their front door, their front yard. It's you poking them. They're being poked to where it's like, if you're back against the wall, you know someone's gonna do something.
M-Love, if you tell me I seen what you did to my brother, I'm not playing with you. That was your freebie, right? If you play with me again, I'm gonna fuck you up. I say, all right, cool. Now, your little brother now, right? Your little brother talking that shit. And I say, yo, tell your brother, calm down. Tell your brother, he know how I is. I know how he is. I know how you is. Calm that shit down so we don't end up in this fucking tundra, right? Now your little brother want to flex and your little brother launch a strike. See me at the quickie mark, right? Steal off on me. Boom. Run back home. I say, you know, fuck it then. I'm in your house and I'm in his house. Fuck it. Because guess what? It's gonna literally be that way anyway, right?
Yeah.
If I punch on him, you finna come fuck me up, right? So let me just attack this shit on two fronts at one time. Fuck it. That's what we're talking about here, bro. I'm telling you, from what I gathered in the last 45 minutes, they attacked Iran. Iran is in the middle of peace conversation and negotiations. They still in the conversation. I guess the conversation got real short, huh?
Very short. And the thing about it is, these negotiations, these talks, and what they're doing now, they do around this time every year. I think they've been doing this for the last 7 years. Every year around this time, this is the time to where they do that. And what it is, it's keeping that area, safety around that area that's over there. But now, from looking at that area, we can now to let everybody know that we understand the other point, as in how over there how what happened in October and a lot of things over in the Middle East area, they are saying Iran is funding that. Understandable. We get it if y'all saying it, but there has not been any solid evidence that's been put out to show that Iran is the one that is funding all that's happening.
It's not.
There's no solid evidence. It's all just saying to where we do need solid evidence, and you need to have solid evidence to plead your case and your cause. If little brother is going around and little brother is saying that, hey, big brother, he's the one doing this, he's the one doing it, just saying it, it's like, show me what is he doing? How you know that he's doing that? So it could be justified. To where if things are happening for a certain reason, if you justify it, everyone would be like, okay, well, I understand why you've done it, little brother. I see why you've done that and why that is happening. But if you're not letting us know to where everything we hear is just hearsay, we looking sideways at it. So
we're supposed to.
Right. And it is up to everyone that's doing something that's causing casualties and all that to tell why. How come you're doing this? And if you don't have any solid evidence to let people know, the world is going to look at you sideways and look at you as someone that's just out there picking on people because you got your big brother is sitting back there that's swole. He got the big back, big arms and everything.
Of course,
he's just the big bully.
Yep. Exactly.
So it from both sides when you look at it, it has to be a justification for it. If not, you're going to look like people are picking on you or going against you because you're not clarifying or having a solid statement of this is the reason why we're doing this. Not just, oh, we have the right to do it. We have the right to treat them like we was treated over there. If you were doing this to the people that done that to you, no one would have any problems at all. No one would have no problems if you did this to them and they getting their get back for you now. But if these people that you're getting your get back at is in a total different area, total different people, and you're doing that to them, it doesn't look right. It looks more like
it would never
you got
look
beat
like.
up.
It would never, dog.
But this would look. It looks like you got beat up over there by them. Now you go over here and beat up some people that you could beat him up. They smaller than you, so you could beat them up. You looking like bullies.
Yep. And we at the stage right now, bro. Where it's like, yo, y'all not even being honest.
Right.
You smell me?
Uh-huh.
Y'all don't have the fucking ability to simply just be honest. We watching this shit happen. We are watching it happen. Give me 1 second. I'm punching some buttons right now, but you good. You go chop it up, bro. I'm punching some buttons.
But that's the case. You're exactly right. We are watching it happen in real time, and it seems like everybody's sitting on the sideline, honestly, because everybody is trying to figure out why and what's going on. How come? Why? What's going on? And nobody and Big Brother is so big to where it's like only thing that can happen is we can ask questions.
You don't want no smoke? No.
To where
they don't want no fucking smoke.
Nothing. Not when Big Brother's mad. If Big Brother's mad on the warpath, nah. Then Big Brother just went and knocked somebody. Big Brother just went and knocked somebody out. He took the plug.
That's it.
Big Brother went and took the plug and said, "Now what? I'm the new man in town. I'm the new sheriff. If you need something, talk to me."
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And did it smooth and mean. We went into Venezuela with no problem. Come here. Let's go. Come
Easily slid into Venezuela. Easily slid into Venezuela. Like it was just a regular day.
Come here. Her too. Bring her too. You can have her. Come on. Let's go. And then said, "Who else wants some?" Say it again. Somebody else say something there. We got a second. We got another one coming in. That was the left hand.
Yeah, for sure.
That was the jab. We didn't come with the hook. We just went and jabbed and grabbed him out. Don't make me come in there with the hook.
Yep. Nice little space jab. Space him out, measuring, right?
Bam. Right here, bam. You see what they said? Like they came in there and they used sonic weapons. And we didn't know what happened.
Dog, tomorrow, give this shit maybe another 4 to 8 hours. It's gonna be fucking stupid information out here in the world.
Oh yeah.
Stupid amounts of fucking information. I gotta bang the fuck out, G. I gotta go lay down and sleep. But yo, y'all know what it is. We here now, right? Peace negotiations was happening. It looks like Lirsi attacked fucking Iran. Iran responded in a way that technically makes fucking sense. Technically, we shouldn't be in that bitch in the first fucking place. How it makes sense to me is because they never attacked the fleet itself. They never attacked any of the ships as of now. Information I have right now, they never attacked the ships. They attacked Bahrain, which is a sturdy base, a base that's just there, land-based. It wasn't a ship, which makes sense. Like, yo, heads up. To me, it makes sense. In the most basic form, it makes sense. I don't like war. I'm non-violent across the board. You hear me? Emma, you got close up?
You said it all. You get more information of it, then next time we all get together and speak about it, we have a clearer understanding of what to say, what happened, and what's going on.
Yeah, I feel the same way, bro. I absolutely feel the same way, and I agree. Let some time pass, you know, and let's see what happens, because this could literally be that's it.
It starts a lot.
Negotiations carry on, right?
Yeah.
This could be a pump fake to see what cards motherfuckers holding. This could be a card game, right? Let's see what type of cards you're holding, what type of pressure you could take, what's your response, etc., right? It could be a real deal. I'm looking at it like that in the back of my brain, because shit ain't really go turn the fuck up yet, right? Shit ain't really turned the fuck up yet.
I think this is a power move.
I think it's a power check. Me too. I think it's definitely a power check.
Because that area, the first move was Venezuela. This is the next move. For sure. This move right here is another one, because that area is the majority of oil moves right through there, and oil is the lifeblood of this earth for all the countries.
Yep, it is blood of planet. You know what we're gonna talk about next? We're gonna talk about the move in Mexico. We're gonna talk about that next. I got you.
Oh, yeah, okay. Next
You
time we
see
get
it
in
too?
there,
You see it,
yeah,
right? All right,
man,
cool.
I'm telling you, the chessboard there has been
yeah.
bishops and rooks and especially bishops and knights.
Them
Those
knights
have been those have been moved to where there is going to be a difference in a lot of things.
Yeah, they are
set up for the
they're in
next
heavy
50
play.
years.
They're in heavy play. Absolutely, they're in heavy play. I'm watching it too.
Word.
My G, you know it's a love thing, dog. My man, 100 grand. Love pulled up to chop it up a little bit. This is going on. This is live. This is real. Shit shaking over there. In other hemisphere, people sending missiles. Shit getting blown up. Shit on fire right now. But I tell you what, say a prayer for the people that's actually losing their life. Right.
Exactly.
People that sign up for war, they kind of sign up to go lose their life. But a lot of people end up being casualties. Make sure we say a prayer for the casualties first, and then we say a prayer for the warlords and the war dogs. Y'all know it's a love thing from FNHT. He and I, it's him, Slim, Trim, and I'm built to. And it's his trend. Love yourself so you can love the people that's around you, and take care of yourself so you can take the people that's around you. Don't ever be scared. Just make sure you're always prepared. You heard? See y'all soon. Conspiracy show in a couple hours.